Welcome to the Season 3, Episode 2 of Teed Up, where everyone's a sports expert.
The podcast that makes you care about sports.
We are an original podcast created and produced by Long Beach State student-run newspaper, the Daily 49er. I'm Naoki.
I'm Matty G.
And welcome to the show. As you guys can see, we're in a little bit of a different setup today. There's some scheduling conflicts involved. We're in a little bit of a smaller space today. And we just came off of probably one of the biggest episodes that we've ever recorded. Ever.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's pretty big to get Connolly, but viewer-wise, I look at it. Some other people did bigger.
True.
Shout out Bobby.
Shout out Bobby. But we have, I would like to thank two bigger guests today on the show.
That's an honor to hear from you, dude.
We have
absolute honor.
We have one of the co-hosts for.
We have a radio legend.
Yeah, we have a
Connolly
radio
can't
legend.
say that.
That is true. That is very, very true. We have the co-host here at Footy Fridays, Mr. Zach Durham.
Thank you.
And our resident Englishman, Maher.
What's up, people? It's good to be back.
Before we start the show, we'd like to make a little bit of an announcement for the show. So for this season for Teed Up, we're going to switch it up just so slightly. So for the past 2 seasons, we would be recapping the beach sports and recapping it all off the top of the show. We record this on Fridays and we post these on Wednesdays. So obviously there's a bit of a gap in between the timelines here. And, you know, by the time we recap certain sports, they're like a week and a half gone. So what we'll be doing is we're going to be moving all of our weekend and our sports recaps to our Instagram and our socials. So follow us on socials at daily400.com. We'll be dropping the sports recaps for the beach every single Tuesday on the Instagram. So please, if you want to know stay up to date on what's going on, keep an eye on our socials. And obviously when we write our stories, our game stories, you can also look out for those as well after every single game. Maddie, we just posted one last night.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like we're finding a way to not talk about men's basketball's game last night.
We're
just going to quickly skip around.
We're just going to avoid it. Skipping rocks.
Yeah. We're going to talk about...
we didn't see that.
We did not see that.
That didn't happen. It just didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
So first things first, to start off, we're gonna talk some soccer today, talk some footy.
Friday.
Some Footy Friday. Footy
Man,
Friday.
he just was a guest on Footy Fridays.
I
felt
was.
like probably the best episode of the season, I would say.
I'm touched.
Would you look at that?
Yeah.
I'm
touched.
Look at that. Ben,
We were flowing, man.
Ben, episode? Come on, mate.
Well, you ruined it by singing Glory, Glory, 99. Everything was going smooth until you and Beto just had to start going.
We made that episode, me and Beto, okay? Without that song, there was no episode.
Oh.
There was no episode.
No, but I appreciate that, Zach.
We were flowing today.
We were flowing today.
I saw
One of the things that we didn't get a chance to touch on the Footy Fridays today is the international duty. So African Cup of Nations in the Asian Cup. As a Japanese native, Japan is doing really well right now in the Asian Cup. My captain, Wataru Endo, we talked about him on that show, and Matoma's doing really well, Kubo. But there's another nation that starting to do really, really well in the Asian Cup. Maddie, why don't you take us away?
Oh, I didn't know we were jumping to Palestine this quickly.
We're talking Palestine
I love always
today.
getting Palestine tidbits into anything sports related.
Absolutely.
But massive ups to Palestine. First ever Asian Cup win.
For sure.
With everything going on. I mean, it's just tremendous to see that.
Yeah.
And such a small country in general. You look at like the population of India, China, can't get out of their group.
That's true.
Palestine goes ahead, does it.
Right.
Wins their first ever game as well, 3-0 against Hong Kong. And then you got the 110 days celebration. Just shout out Palestine.
Shout out Palestine, man.
Yeah, the AFCON is just the gift that keeps on giving. I mean, every time there's an AFCON tournament, there is just storyline after storyline as it goes on.
There is.
Talk about a particular storyline like Andre Onana's, your boy.
Yeah,
his AFCON experience has been quite the interesting one.
Quite the interesting one. Funny enough, the Cameroon head coach had the sanity and the mental, capacity to drop him, whereas Ten Hag hasn't.
No.
So I don't know what's going on here, Ten Hag, but look at the Cameroon head coach. He's doing it right. Drop him.
But it's like, I think for the ones who don't know, he stayed a day longer in England.
He played against Spurs. It
Played
was
against
Man United
Spurs.
Spurs.
Little
Flew
timeline.
in, tried to fly in, missed his flight, or his flight got delayed.
Missed his flight. He tried to get into the first game of the tournament.
He drove there, right?
He drove there.
He
They
drove
refused him. Got angry about it. Threw a fit. Had to get calmed down by, I think, the opposing team's player, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Was in the game. Next game, played terrible.
Played terrible.
Look at the second goal he conceded. It was his fault. He's diving in slow motion.
I don't think he made a single
You
save.
know what I mean?
No, he hasn't made a single
what
save.
What are we doing? He hasn't. Listen, Onana is going through an astronomical downfall in his career. I don't know what it is. Maybe he's in Man United colours. I'm not too sure, but something wrong is happening with him. And it's just, I don't know.
The lights are too bright at Old Trafford, I think.
Yeah, can we cut to the clip from earlier in season 2 when Maher like praised Onana as like one of the best signings of the
How could you
summer.
not? He had a great year for Inter Milan. One of the reasons why they made it to the final,
Like,
mate. You know,
he
has a
like
Ballon d'Or.
you know, it wasn't just
Consideration.
it wasn't
It
just
was a
me.
Ballon d'Or.
It was
He
it was
was.
the entire football world. You know, I fell for it eventually. You know, unfortunately, I fell for it. But yeah, we'll see what happens, mate. You know, we still got February and March and April and the rest of the season.
That's a lot of goals conceded.
that's a lot of goals to concede.
That's Lobo Nana right there,
It's
mate.
a lot of time to fall further and further down the Premier
Oh
League
my
table down
goodness.
there.
Oh my goodness.
And Maddie, you got something?
Yeah, Emilio and Sue.
Mm.
Equatorial Guinea.
Oh, yeah.
The man is playing third tier in Spain, but
Yeah.
leading AFCON in goal scoring. Oldest
Wow.
hat trick ever. But
And he's a right
He's
back.
a right back.
He's a
In the
defender.
third tier of Spain, but he plays striker.
Look at that, mate. The beauty of
That's-
AFCON.
That's the beauty
Yeah.
of AFCON. Yeah.
The beauty of
The beauty of
AFCON.
AFCON. You have a
Quite
right
literally.
back playing striker. He's
There you go.
34, has 5 goals.
In his league.
See, this is why I love like international duty a lot. You just get these like
Ivory
you get like third tier league defenders playing striker, and then you get all these players playing out of position that they wouldn't
Right.
naturally be playing.
Exactly.
But they shine. They're shining.
They are shining, yeah.
Superstars are
I mean,
born
Equatorial
in
Guinea's
tournaments
playing
too,
great.
Superstars are born in these tournaments usually as well.
100%.
You know? James Rodriguez at the World Cup, and now we got this right back over in
The 34-year-old right
34-year-old right
back.
back.
In the third tier of Spain.
You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Hey, Chelsea has striker issues.
There you go, Chelsea.
See, but who
Chels?
decided to? This is my thing because they always have the Euros and the Copas like off season.
Yeah.
At the end or before the season. Why is the AFCON and the Asia Cup like right smack in the middle of the January transfer window and like everyone else's season? It makes no sense to me.
That's a good.
Who decides
Maybe
this?
slots, I guess, like because maybe the summertime is secluded to like European tournaments. Or, I don't know. I'm just going off the gun here. I'm just
No, I think
assuming.
that's true. It
Yeah.
probably has to do with like TV viewership.
For
They
sure.
figured like they can get more eyeballs on it now
Yeah.
if they're
Also, no,
competing against the Euros.
The reason is
possibly.
summer heat.
Yeah, that's
You
part of
can't
it
play
too.
AFCON during
Oh
the
my
summer.
goodness, mate.
Or Asian Cup in the summer
Oh,
either.
no, forget about it. You'll be
Remember Qatar right in the World Cup?
exactly they did during December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even then, they had
Even-
air-conditioned stadiums, mate. During
They
the
were
winter
just
time.
catching cramps left and right, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do it. In
Well, also, you think like the vast majority, like if you're looking at it just in terms of just Europe, like
Yeah.
the superstars that make up a lot of the bigger clubs in Europe, they're all
sure.
they're all European.
yeah,
You have your exceptions, obviously, with Son and Salah and Osimhen and
right,
does it.
yeah.
But I think if you want, that also helps that you get viewership like all year round when you have the Euros and
Sure.
Copa in the summertime. You just get that viewership
Mhm.
all year round as opposed to just like in little seasons.
How do we feel about players declining international duty? I don't know if you guys heard about the player for Leicester, Abdul Fatawu. He was like a young Ghanaian player, like 19, declined playing for Ghana. And
Really?
then got a red card the very next day for Leicester
Right.
and got a
Oh.
3-game ban. And so he won't play for a
What?
month anyways. So he
Wow.
declined AFCON. Probably is now in like the doghouse of the federation.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Joel Matip
Mm.
with the Cameroon
He did
national
something
team,
like-
where he refused to go and then actually won AFCON that season. you know what I mean? So
I mean, he's out with injury right now for Liverpool, and we're
Yeah.
top of the Premier League.
yeah, exactly.
That's
yeah.
fishy.
Yeah,
It,
so it does remind me of that for
Hey.
sure. It happens, mate. Players, I guess they got problems with the head coach and the national team, and
Absolutely.
it happens all the time. We hear those stories.
So at this stage of both tournaments, who do you guys have as your favorites to win both
Egypt.
tournament? Okay.
Egypt won it all.
The winless because of the cow.
Because I lived there for 10 years, mate. It's personal bias.
No, okay, fair.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going for Egypt.
Fair.
I'm going for Egypt.
I would say for AFCON, I'm gonna go either Senegal or
Okay.
Nigeria. Just two of the top teams in that entire continent.
Yeah.
Senegal's got the
Senegal's-
most points right now. in
Yeah,
AFCON.
Senegal is probably the favorite. I know Sadio Mane is leading the way.
Yep,
Shout out Sadio Mane, former
Uh,
Red.
And then for Asia Cup, I'm gonna stick with my boys, Heung-min Son in South Korea. Man, they
Damn.
play. I
Japan.
mean, Japan. I think that would be the final.
That would be that would be a beautiful
Ooh,
final.
That
right
that
now.
would be a
Amazing
cool
final.
final.
Hey,
What do you got for Asian Cup, Maher?
Japan.
Japan.
Japan. They're just too stacked,
All
honestly.
right, Maddie.
I'm going Australia and Senegal. I do really like Australia. Jackson Irvine's one of my man crushes. Guy has a great mustache and a lot of tattoos.
That's a fair point. That's a fair
Casemiro
point.
too. Apparently, in that video, he recognized him actually at the World Cup. He's like,
Oh,
I
I've seen
recognize
that.
you.
I've seen that.
You play for Australia,
He
no?
has
Yeah.
Thick stash on him.
Exactly.
I got Japan and I got Egypt. Up to Mo
There
Salah.
you go, mate.
Up to
There
Mo
you
Salah.
go.
I gotta root for the Reds. You know.
You need to. You
Gotta root
need
for the Reds that are out there in AFCON
Respect
Asia
it.
Cup.
For sure, for sure.
Maddie, would you like to hit us with the inaugural Frank break of this season?
This is inaugural.
This is
It
the
is
first
the
one.
first Frank break.
Oh,
we
I
couldn't
feel
give
honored.
Oh, that's
Dude,
what I mean, mate.
Connolly and Appel didn't get
Yeah,
this.
we couldn't give
Wow.
Connolly and them a Frank break.
Okay.
True.
You think Connolly eats hot dogs?
You'd be surprised.
I reckon she
don't
does.
know.
Maybe.
I mean, who doesn't, to be
Who doesn't
fair?
nowadays,
She's
mate?
telling me she doesn't go to a Dodger game and get a Dodger dog.
They're not good.
Dodger
That's gonna be
dogs?
talked about on Frank Break.
That's a hot
The Dodger
take.
dog is
That
not
is
good.
a hot take.
Whoa.
That is a hot
That's a
take.
hot
So
take.
bad. But as far as Frank Break goes, we're gonna go quiz style here.
All right. Hit us.
We're gonna open up with they were the 2021-22 Europa League champions.
Okay.
And Brendan Aaronson's brother plays for this team. Everything's Frank related.
And this is a team.
This is a team.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at you for this one.
Yeah.
Frankfurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gotta be
Okay.
it.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Mario Götze?
There we go. Starting off easy. Paxton Aronson. I guess people don't know he plays
I didn't
there.
know he had a brother.
I didn't know he had a
He's
brother.
not very good.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
an MLS player.
That's probably why.
Christina's favorite player was Brendan Aronson. That's why
True.
she's a Leeds fan.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
the Leeds kid. I almost wore it.
Up
All right.
Leeds.
All right.
Up the Leeds.
No. Up the Leeds.
He was quick to shut that down.
Stay in the championship, mate, and don't come back up, please.
We were talking about Calvin Phillips.
We were talking
earlier.
about Calvin Phillips
What
today. on the-
about Calvin Phillips?
He's
What
going to
about
West
Calvin?
Ham. He's going to West Ham.
Oh yeah, on loan.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good
Going to
move
West
for him, honestly. Good move for him. Good
West
move.
Ham?
Good move. Good
This one's a
move.
little tougher.
Okay.
We got an icon from FIFA 14 to 17.
that's right.
Defender capped 112 times for the Dutch national team. Won a Champions League with Ajax. Played at Barcelona. And then was also a manager.
Ronald Koeman.
No, it's
Where's
gotta
the Frank?
Remember, this is what I thought it was. I thought it was Frank, the guy that passed away.
Yeah, Franz Beckenbauer.
But it's Franz.
Ah.
Frank. Frank de Boer.
Frank de Boer.
Oh, dude, the fact,
Yeah.
I needed the Frank. I just had to tie it into the.
Because
the
I heard
Frank
Barcelona and Ajax. I'm like, that's
Yeah,
class.
Koeman.
Ronald
Who did
Koeman
he
and
manage
Steve.
though?
He managed at Ajax.
At Ajax?
He's,
Okay.
I think he's managing currently in the Saudi league.
Okay.
but
Okay.
We don't
Frank
count
de
that.
Boer,
Frank
man.
de Boer.
Frank
That's a
de
good
Boer.
pull.
I don't think I
Frank de
ever had him
Boer,
on my
mate.
FIFA
Hey,
team.
in the words of Mourinho, the worst manager in Premier League history.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. Lost his first 5 games and got sacked by Crystal Palace. So,
I should put that in there.
Yeah, you should have done that.
yeah, here
Wow.
you go. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Worst manager in Premier League history.
According to Mourinho?
According to Jose Mourinho.
According to the chosen one?
The chosen one,
They
mate.
shouldn't have sacked him.
What, Crystal Palace?
No.
No,
Mourinho.
Mourinho.
Crystal Palace.
I didn't know Mourinho went to Palace. All right, next one up here, we got the Premier League's top assister 3 times.
Okay.
MLS All-Star. Started the career for West Ham. Managed at Derby County.
We know who this is already.
Mate.
I'm gonna look at you.
Yeah, we're gonna look at you for this one.
Is Frank, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, one more time. Give me
So
the
Premier League's top assister 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah.
MLS All-Star.
MLS All-Star.
Started career for West Ham.
Star career. Started his career for West Ham.
Yeah, managed at Derby County.
Managed at Derby County.
You gotta get this
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like you
As
should
an
know
Englishman, you
Yeah.
gotta
Mate, I've
get
got
this
so
one.
many. Wait.
Just think Frank, bro.
Frank Lampard. There you go. See, I knew it was someone's name, man. But I was like, I could forget it somewhere.
Those are the most rogue clues.
Yeah,
bro.
Frank Lampard.
I had no
mate.
idea he started at West Ham.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
right,
youth boy.
right, he was his. Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then after that, he
yeah,
went to.
Yep.
I don't even know.
You
No, he-
Swansea.
He went to Chelsea, didn't he? After West
Nah,
Ham.
somewhere
No?
else.
Did he not go to Chelsea after West Ham?
One more team in between. I don't remember who.
Fulham? No, not Fulham.
I want to say Swansea, but I could
Had
be
to
wrong.
Yeah, well, Chelsea. You know, Frank Lampard.
Proper
made it.
Chelsea.
Yeah,
Proper Chelsea.
Proper
Get him back-
Proper
Get him
Chelsea.
back in charge.
True blue. That's a true blue.
That is a
What-
true blue.
Swansea.
Yeah,
On
it
loan-
was
he went to
Swansea.
on loan.
For
Swansea.
9 games.
9 games. Come on.
And then he played at Chelsea for 13 years.
There you go, mate. And won the Champions League.
Won a
and scored
Champions
many
League.
All
goals.
right, and then this is the last one.
Okay.
Okay.
If you guys get this, like, all on you, but
Okay.
there's no shot.
Okay.
This UK soccer club's new uniform makes them look like giant wieners was a headline from Vice in 2018 about this.
Okay, this is UK soccer.
UK
club.
Okay.
soccer.
What
Well, it's
tier?
not
First,
necessarily like.
Premier League team.
No,
We're gonna do
Championship.
some research
I
to
think
find
it's
that
gotta
out.
be like Scottish, like Prem or.
Were they sponsored by Oscar Mayer or something like that?
That's
They're
not a
the-
bad shout.
They were the North Riding County champions in 2017.
North County? Pardon?
North Riding County
North
champions
Riding
in
County,
2017. They might be
What?
Sunday League.
That's what I'm thinking,
It
mate.
might be Sunday. Good
They
man.
might as well be. I
The
mean,
pub team, you know what I mean, mate? Honestly, that's what I'm thinking.
Hey.
Third division in English football.
I'm gonna throw in the towel. I have no clue.
Wrexham.
They are not even in the third tier. What are you talking about? This is Bedale Town.
Bedale Town.
And these are the kids we're rocking with.
Oh, those are atrocious. I
Oh,
like how
yeah.
the goalie's got that like barbecue grill
Yeah, he's
mark
got the
on
grill
it.
one. Yeah, I like
Oh,
that.
that is a lovely
Also,
kit.
I think it's beautiful. I found their kit currently.
Yeah, what is it
What
like?
is
I'm
it?
pretty sure it's a pie.
Yeah, it looks very
That is a pie.
Yeah.
That is a pie.
Peas and
Oh my goodness.
sausage and
That's
pea pie.
proper footy heritage right there.
I love how creative football gets with their kids,
They
dude.
do, isn't it?
Dude,
Yeah.
we have a segment on Footy Fridays called Kit Check.
Oh.
And,
Yeah.
There was 1 week. I mean, so most of the time we'll do our favorite kits, but I think only one episode this year we did least favorite kits.
Okay.
And I cannot think of the name of them, but they did these jerseys that were like, it was like shirts versus skins. So they made the jersey look like it was all muscle fabric,
love it.
and like, but it was so atrocious.
No, I've seen it.
It was so atrocious.
It was atrocious. The
I
idea
love
was
it.
like S tier, but the execution was F tier.
It was like
Who's
F
is that?
tier. With like Z tier. That's what it sounded like.
Loha CD. Have we seen the shrimp kit?
Yeah.
Shrimp kit.
We can talk
Wow.
about kits forever. I was trying to buy
I'm
this
telling
kit
you,
for
man.
years.
Look at that,
Kit
mate.
check, man.
Kit check.
Shrimp
That's one of my
kit.
favorite segments.
That's
It is.
a
Yeah.
bad one.
You don't like the shrimp kit?
That's a crazy concept, bro. It doesn't even look real. Like
Just a
it,
couple
That's
shrimp.
the whole point of it, Naoki.
bro.
It doesn't look real, you know what I mean?
That's like
just a couple of shrimps.
Just a couple of
Just a
shrimps,
couple
man.
of shrimps.
It's a couple of shrimping, man. You know what I mean?
all right. So one of the big news that popped up today is current Liverpool manager Jürgen Klopp will be stepping down from his position at the end of this season. That's not the news that I would have liked to wake up to this morning. His reasoning is he's mentioned that he kind of wants to live a normal life. He's been managing football for a very long time.
Right.
He had a long career at Borussia Dortmund before coming here to Liverpool.
Yeah.
That was crazy. You texted me this morning.
Mate, I had the best morning today. I woke up, went on Instagram, and the first thing I saw was Jürgen Klopp is resigning at the end of the season. The football gods have answered my prayers. Hope has been restored, ladies and gentlemen. Listen.
He sacrificed a cow last night, didn't you?
I did. That was me, actually. No,
That was
you just
you.
meant, mate, that was actually me. One for Jürgen, one for the national team. Exactly.
Oh man.
Listen, in all honesty, all bias aside, you know, he's been coaching at one of the biggest clubs in the world for, you know, what, 6-7 years now?
9 years. It's
9 years.
9 years.
Man, that's a lot on you, you know, as a head coach. So, you know, I get it. I get it. Stepping back, take a little rest, enjoy your life, you know.
Do we think it's
I get it.
odd to do it mid-season though?
I
While
think
you're currently top of the
he-
table
Yeah.
and like
He-
messing with
I
form.
think.
He prefaced it as like he didn't want to do it like in the summer
Yeah.
because it would just been like you just signed all these new players. You didn't want
Yeah.
like bad omens. You didn't want to do it like, hey, like hypothetically, right?
Yeah.
Hey, we just won the FA Cup. We just won the quadruple.
Yeah.
Peace. Type of thing.
Right.
So I think
Go out like Jim Harbaugh at Michigan, just went out the top.
That's
I mean,
what
yeah, that's what I think. But
That's
like, I
my
think it's
belief
like,
right there.
because remember
Yeah.
when Sir Alex Ferguson in 2001,
Yeah,
2,
yeah.
he like said it like mid-season, like he
He
was gonna
did, yeah,
retire, and
yeah.
then like he ended up coming back for like another year
Mm-hmm,
because you guys ended up finishing second in the league that year. So
Yeah.
I think he wants to kind of see it as like, okay, like hope he just kind of like lights a fire.
That's exactly what I was
underneath the
going to
players,
say. Yep.
And kind of like they want to
Send him off.
send him
For
off on
sure.
a high note, and we're on a
sure.
pace to we said this on the Footy Friday, like a watered down, diluted
down
quadruple
quadruple.
with the Cabbage Cup or Carabao Cup,
Right.
FA Cup,
Right.
Europa League, and then the Premier League. But I hope he goes out on that high note that he wants and that all Liverpool supporters want. And yeah, dude,
I'd say the bad news though for us Man United fans, that means Xabi Alonso will be the Liverpool's next head coach. I'm calling
We
it
were
right
talking
now.
about it on Footy Fridays, and I don't see it.
No, it's happening, mate. It's written in the stars, Zach. It is written in the stars. Xabi Alonso will be Liverpool's head coach.
I think Xabi, because this is his first year managing Leverkusen, they're doing really well. I think us as like supporters, we want to see that, okay, like do this like 2 or 3 more like years. Like we want to
I
see
get
a
it.
bigger sample size of
completely
you having some
understand that.
success.
Right.
Because we don't want to see like, okay, let's say Leverkusen end the year undefeated and they win the Bundesliga. And then we sign him in the summer and then he just completely just flakes. Like he
loses
just like,
the room. Yeah.
yeah.
But this isn't a Ollie Gunnar Solskjaer situation. You know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was in Norway. No offense to, you know, Scandinavian folk out there, but Norway football ain't known as to be the best in Europe. You know, Xabi Alonso competed in a top 5 league in Europe.
Yeah.
Played against the best teams and is undefeated with that team as well. Up against it's like the Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's a good coach.
No,
a
I
very,
agree.
very good coach.
What I said to Naoki earlier is that we haven't seen him have to recover from a loss yet. And it's like, if they lose that first game and their perfect season's over, who's to say they're going to lose 7 and 8 in a row?
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, are they
That's
going to
true.
respond after that first loss? Like, we're just going to have to wait and see. But until then, I think De Zerbi at
De
Brighton
Zerbi
I like
could
De
be-
Zerbi.
is probably the
I don't think
better
Brighton,
option. He's gotten it done in the Premier League. He's got the scouts. We talked about how Brighton scouts are up there with like Ajax and Borussia
sure,
Dortmund,
for sure.
Sporting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think going back to Jürgen, I mean, good for him. He deserves it. Go to Ibiza with your family.
Yeah, dude, enjoy retirement.
But
Champions League,
I
Premier
think
League,
he
he's
comes
won it,
back
yeah,
and
he's
coaches
done
the
it.
German national
We
team,
also
and then
talked
goes
about
to
this
the World
earlier.
Cup in 2026 with Germany.
I still think the U.S. national team's a shout.
Oh my god.
I thought
For
what
Jose
about
Mourinho, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe for
that's
Jose.
that too.
But the special one probably for the national team.
special-
Klopp had a young
Sure,
Pulisic at Dortmund. I don't actually think they got along.
Well,
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
just quickly,
Really?
Probably
quickly
not.
back though. Who? Okay, if not Xabi Alonso,
Mourinho.
Mourinho for
Mourinho.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't see Mourinho coming back to the Prem.
I don't think Mourinho. I don't think he fits the timeline of this team. Like,
He will never go. Absolutely not. Liverpool
No,
will never hire Mourinho.
no, I don't even think that would
Never.
happen.
That
on
would never happen.
Mutually, I don't think that could happen.
Which is why I feel like Xabi Alonso is the only one here that actually makes.
It's most like the most
perfect
logical
sense.
sense.
Yeah.
From a Liverpool player.
You know what I mean? Great player, won the Champions League for Liverpool. Great Liverpool legends. Knows the city, knows the team.
He was on that Invincibles team, wasn't
Exactly, and he's a great player, a great coach as well. On top of that,
Yeah.
he's
You don't want
proven it.
Gerrard?
And if they win the Bundesliga this season with Harry Kane at Bayern Munich, he's getting the job. I'm telling you right now, he's getting the job. FSG, make the call.
But we're not gonna talk about Steven Gerrard as a manager.
Oh yeah, no.
We're not gonna talk CVG as a manager.
CVG.
He's struggling in Saudi Arabia. Like how
Look at Unai Emery. He went to Aston Villa. Now they're in the top 4 with the same
team with
Up the
these
Villa, man.
almost-
Shout out them.
same team.
second place Manchester City just got back arguably the greatest midfielder to ever play in the Premier League, and Kevin De Bruyne.
The GOAT. He's the
I
GOAT.
think would you agree, Maddie, as a Chelsea fan, that De Bruyne is the greatest midfielder to ever play? As a Liverpool fan,
He's
I'm
up
reluctant.
there.
I'm reluctant to say
He's
it.
up there with Zidane. I mean, I'm
What
going
about
Whatever.
Frank? Super Frank in the Prem.
Super Frank in the Prem.
All-time top goal scorer
You know
for
what?
Chelsea.
As a United fan, actually, we have a debate usually is what?
Fernandes.
Skulls.
Frank
Scholes.
Lampard.
Frank Lampard or Stevie G.
Yeah.
I actually picked Frank Lampard over those 3.
over
players.
those three.
I think we've had
Those
that
are-
conversation.
Yeah, we've had, yeah.
Okay, like Mount Rushmore, right? It's Scholes, Stevie, Frank, and then I think you got
No,
to
Zidane. Well, if we're talking Premier League only.
Premier League, yeah.
Zidane.
If it's Mount Rushmore, mate, forget Stevie G and these lot. Put them to the side. Put
Yeah.
Zidane there.
No,
Put
yeah.
all these lot there.
I
Exactly.
agree. Those are the top 4. KDB is
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
clearly asserted himself as a top midfielder of all time in the league.
Yeah. I mean, he's the most creative.
Oh, for sure, mate. I mean, the thing is for me, I don't know. Things I want to say yes. I really want to.
Don't be biased.
No, I will be biased.
We
I
need
will
your
not give him that credit.
I need your unbiased opinion here.
Okay, all right. Unbiased opinion. I'm gonna have to agree.
Here we go.
Ooh.
He's just absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
The way this guy can pick a pass out of nothing and anywhere is ridiculous. Paul Scholes-esque, may I say.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
Different
And-
gravy.
And he can
Different
ping it into
gravy.
the back of the net as well.
Anywhere, mate.
He can ping that.
You can literally. You could
Did you
be-
watch that game against Newcastle where Newcastle were up 2-1?
Oh, he
Yeah.
subbed
He
on
comes
won
on
the
in the
game.
70th minute.
Yeah, scores
5
a
minutes
goal,
later, banger of a goal,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then game-winning assist in the
Yeah.
90th minute. I mean,
Mate, he's just unbelievable, Kevin De Bruyne.
The,
Honestly.
do you guys think that this shifts the title charge for
I do.
Manchester City? You
I
just
do.
saw it today. And
well, they
against
didn't even
Tottenham.
play that great. We just played worse than them. But I mean, Kevin De Bruyne was the one that created that goal on that set piece. But
Yeah.
Who scored for Man City that game?
it was
Okay.
Ake.
Okay.
It was a controversial goal. We're not going to talk about it.
We're not gonna talk about that.
But no, to answer your question, I do think that changes the tide as far as them catching up to Liverpool. We still they still have only dropped one game, and that was a controversial game too. And then we talked about the Arsenal game,
Yep.
the Odegaard handball. I think that leaves room for them to creep up,
Yeah.
and the fact that they're getting fully healthy. Is Rodri back yet or no
I think so.
for City?
I believe he is.
Because if they have both of those players locked into their midfield, like they are going to be in contention no matter what.
And it's got Bernardo Silva over
they're in
there.
contention. The only way I see him being contention is if Liverpool go through a bad form, like they lose a couple of games in a row.
Yeah.
You know, you lose some key players here and there. You know what I mean? But honestly, the way I see it right now is Liverpool in the
Yeah.
league.
Right now, Liverpool's at a time where like a lot of our guys that were out are starting to like creep back in the lineup. Robertson, who's been out for like
Exactly. He's
over a
coming
month.
back into it as well.
Soboslai just now starting to like. He started practicing this week. So did Trent.
Right.
Thiago made a cameo at training today.
Right, yeah.
That's another guy that
Yeah.
he hasn't played all season. It's like another like that he can help us make that last season little
For
push.
sure. Yeah.
But I still think I'm gonna show a little bit of my bias. I hope we win the league, but you can never count out Manchester City.
I just feel
Can't
like
count out Pep.
you can't
Yeah.
count out Pep. And you're next, by the way, to step down Pep, just so you know.
Oh, I was gonna with Klopp stepping down at the end of the season. Does that kind of open up the door for Pep Guardiola to possibly lead the
mean,
Premier League?
I mean,
I thought he was gonna after the whole city charges.
Me too.
personally.
Me too. Me too.
Well, they're still investigating them. There's like 110 plus charges.
Yeah.
What if he goes back to Barcelona?
By the time
Can he
We-
save
we talked about
Barcelona?
We talk about Javi out. I mean,
Xavi's
No.
not managing well.
no.
He's not. He's actually not. He really
So,
isn't. Yeah.
When Klopp is out of the Premier League, I could see Pep being like, let's go back to Barca and fix them.
What
'cause
about
they've got
Klopp
plenty
at
of problems over
Barcelona?
there.
That could be a shout too. Klopp at Barcelona, you know what I mean? That could be a shout as
No,
well.
like I said, man, he's taking the family to Ibiza.
Yeah, he's going on holiday.
Make
in
take
Spain.
one trip down to Barcelona.
It
mate.
is. It is. You're right.
Spain.
Hey,
Yeah,
Matty
right.
G's got a point.
Take
Just
one
in Spain.
trip down to Spain, mate, to Barcelona. You know what I mean?
He's gonna come here he's gonna come pull up here on 2nd Street after the season's over here on Long Beach. He's gonna just
Man.
have us a proper holiday, dude. He's gonna get hammered on 2nd Street. He's gonna like live his best life.
Go to the nearest German pub here,
Catch
man.
him at dogs.
Shoot the dog.
We'll take
Shoot
him to
the
the
dog
German
at
pub,
dogs.
mate, in La Habra.
Oh, Continental Delicatessen, dude.
That's what we're
we gotta
taking
take
him
you
out.
guys there. That's
Oh,
our
yeah,
guys.
we
Well,
gotta
go,
go.
mate.
Yeah, it's a Bayern Munich fan club
Yep.
meeting spot. It's in La Habra. It's
There
like
you
this
go.
German deli, family owned.
So great, man.
It's
So
mom
much
and pop
fun.
in the kitchen, and then Nicole, who's the president of the fan club, is the server / bartender.
Shout out
and
Nicole.
it's such a community. Dude.
I want to
It's
know
so
what they
cool.
feel about when Nina Bielitsa smacked Leroy Sané in the face in that Berlin game.
That was
I wanna see their
insane.
thoughts.
No,
wanna
you
hear
know what's
their
funny
thoughts.
is we were at the game. It was Man United versus Bayern in the Champions League,
Yeah.
and there was this one fan.
Who hated Leroy Sané?
He hated Sané. Every
Hated his
time he
guts.
touched the ball, he was booing, saying,
You suck,
suck,
Sané."
You suck,
But he's a
Sané."
Bayern fan.
He was a Bayern fan, just anti-Sané.
Wow.
So
He
I
just hated
guarantee
him.
if he was at the deli watching that game, he was probably clapping, man.
He would have been the
He
happiest
got
guy
up
in the
and was
room,
like,
mate.
"This is what we needed."
Good.
We'd be like, slap him next. You know what I mean? Bring him over here.
Well, speaking of teams that are getting slapped up, Newcastle.
Oh, what a transition!
Yeah,
Up the tune.
Well, you'll get it next.
Up the tune,
Well,
mate.
Newcastle last season finished in the top 4. They got some Champions League football this year, but right now they sit at mid-table, I believe. What, 10th?
Lovely.
Talk about a drop off in form. I mean, they picked up a lot of injuries this year. Trippier's been out. He was out for a little bit, and then
Right.
Sandro Tonali.
getting banned for the year for the entire season.
Bloody hell, Sandro.
We talked about this on Footy Fridays. Did they overperform last season? Did they overachieve by making Champions League? What do you think, Maddie?
I mean, it's fixture congestion, right? Like
Yeah.
teams who aren't used to it playing Champions League football. You
Yeah,
have
that's true.
FA Cup, you have Carabao
fine.
Cup,
No,
you have the Premier League. It's just a lot more intense. You lose players. Doesn't go good.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I mean, drop points to Luton Town.
Yeah.
I'm looking at their
Hey,
current league
shout out
form.
Luton though. I do think
Luton plays with hunger. They've
Yeah,
like
they
given
do.
every top
They
16
play like a bunch
game.
of dogs down there, man.
No, they've given every top 6 team a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Detroit
But-
Pistons got to learn from Luton Town, by the
Honestly,
way.
mate, watch some tape, lads. You might learn what hot
Yeah,
is. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
But yeah,
exactly, dude.
For Newcastle, I mean, I agree with Maddie. I think it's just congested fixtures,
Yeah.
and you got to prioritize some over the others. As every coach is going to say that there's no priority over games, but in the back of their head, it's like there is.
Yeah,
They just don't want to make that
absolutely.
very public,
Yeah.
Exactly.
because then that's just a narrative is developed. And
Yeah.
but yeah, shout out Dan Byrne.
Shout out,
Speaking of Aussies,
shout out Dan Burn, dude.
Shout out Denver.
Yeah.
Aussie. Oi, oi,
Oi,
oi,
oi,
oi.
oi.
I feel like this is Newcastle coming back down to earth again, if you ask me.
I think so.
You know, this is Newcastle, mate.
Yeah.
They are a mid-table team. They are not a top 4 team.
I feel like
That's just my
take.
view.
that
You
is
don't
a
think the
take.
money's there to back them
They
long term?
could. They could. Long term, absolutely. But I think currently speaking, as the team's constructed, mate, one of their best players, Anthony Gordon. Everton, right? Got relegated. Almost got relegated, Anthony Gordon.
Yeah.
And he's one of their best players on their team.
He's
You don't
been
rate
balling.
Isak?
He has been balling, but you
I
know,
read Isaac.
Isak is great. Bruno
Yeah.
is great too. They got 2 superstars on that team. But I would-
Joelinton?
John
he's had a revival in his career.
Yeah,
I'll
I
give
was
you
gonna
that,
say, he
you
was,
know.
like,
I wouldn't
very
say.
mid.
you
Well, he
know,
switched positions, right? Because
he
he used to
did.
play as a striker.
He was a striker, now he's a winger, yeah, because he didn't score enough goals as a striker. But I feel like Newcastle, this is who they are, mate. They're a 10th place team. I don't think
Yeah.
they're a top 4 team.
They're very
Not
shaky
even Europa
defense.
League, not even Conference League team. I think they are a 10th place team.
Oh, they're just right. You think where they're at right now is where the
I think that's
Wow.
who they are, mate. I don't think they're shocking anyone, in my view, honestly. At least last season, because, you lot had a
well, they're
bad
shocking
year.
everybody because of how awful they're doing.
Yeah.
Well, they're shocking because, obviously because last year, your team was struggling, hence why they cannot
Yeah.
win into the top 4.
That's true.
You look in this season, this is who they are.
Yeah.
Leicester City won a title last season. Following season, were in a relegation battle. That's who they were.
Well,
You know what I mean? It happens.
speaking of another team that maybe deserves to be a mid-table team for the foreseeable future, and that's a staple of their franchise.
I know where this is going.
Chelsea FC.
Okay, I thought it was on me, mate. Yes, Chelsea.
I
thought Man United. Man. I was like,
I got another transition.
oh shit.
I was just about to ask if we think we ever get back to a traditional top six of like Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, United.
One day
I
we
don't
be
think
back.
we do, personally.
Villa's got other plans, dude.
Well, not even Villa, Brighton. There's like so many teams that have shown competitiveness. West Ham.
Yeah, there's a lot more money.
Even
in the Premier
Newcastle.
League now.
I really do think Newcastle can still come back up, but
It depends, mate. But like, they're not going to finish in the top 6 though, or top 7. No way.
nah.
Brighton teams above them are way too
West
far
Ham
ahead.
too. West Ham.
as well, mate.
We thought they were gonna fall off after losing Declan Rice in the summer.
Right.
Yeah.
Then they signed James Ward-Prowse, who everybody kind of was like, oh, whatever. He was
Not
signing
me,
out
mate.
he's leaving a Southampton that just got relegated, and he's been arguably their best player this year.
He was the only gem, mate, in that team, that relegated
Yeah.
Southampton team.
Oh,
honestly.
100%.
You know what I mean?
No, but as far as
What a
Chelsea,
signing.
I mean, what more can they do? Todd Bowley's come in and spent like over $1 billion,
Yeah.
and like, there's just no chemistry.
You've
Is
got to
that-
build the team, honestly. Todd, like Todd, let Potts just coach his team, mate. Like,
No. I really
let him
think
cook, let him
I think
cook.
Poach is out. I do. I know it's a project. Everyone said
already?
This
This is your fourth coach, mate.
we're
Like,
a
it's-
sack happy club, but like you look at Poach and there's no identity to this club right now. Like no one knows what's going
where
on.
was it before Potts was in there, though? It was in the mud as well.
We need
mate.
Tuchel back. We need Tuchel back. I really think Tuchel was the key to the club.
Get over it, mate. He's not coming
He
back.
unlocked
Okay?
the potential out of
He
that
did,
squad.
he
But
did,
it's a
he
whole
did.
different front three. I mean, Havertz is gone.
Yeah.
Who else? Mason Mount is
Mason Mount's-
gone, and
He
then
was
They were frauds. Tuchel was carrying them like it was Deadwood already.
that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
He
yeah.
unlocked
Mason
the
Mount was a
potential.
fraud. I can tell you
of
right
that
now, mate.
squad.
Mason Mount is definitely a fraud, man.
And so you give Tuchel this new squad full of like young, hungry players. I really think there's hope. But Chelsea's in a bad state. I saw people saying Axel Diassi should be
Boy.
converted to a striker because of his goal against Middlesbrough.
Like,
And
he
that
scored
had
2
the
goals the
body-
whole season, though. Like, what are
They
you
were
talking-
saying he has the frame of Benzema and makes the same runs.
Oh man, down bad.
like,
No.
Hey, with the mic
yeah,
over that one,
Axel
mate.
Diassi
I'm
needs to
here
become
to
a
back on that
striker
one.
according to Chelsea.
The Blues
Yeah.
are down bad if they went to Sassy at striker.
mean,
Bad.
What happened to
Benoit
Nicholas
Badiashile
Jackson,
was
mate?
at left back today. I'm pretty sure Alfie Gilchrist was right back.
What happened
Levi
Can I steal your
Cole-
joke from
Oh,
Footy Fridays
please,
earlier?
please.
All right. What do they say about Nicholas Jackson?
He can't even finish his own dinner. Nicky Jackson can't even finish his own dinner. Forget a chance.
Forget a
in front of-
chance.
in front of goal. You know what I mean?
Oh
I
my
think
love
the,
that.
the
Yeah.
season came to a close when the whole Astrid Wet Nicholas Jackson thing happened.
Oh, we're not gonna talk about that.
That little purple patch he had, mate. Yeah.
This isn't the show where we talk about Astrid Wed.
But it has to be said if we're
Oh my
talking
goodness,
soccer
next
and
topic.
Chelsea.
Speaking of
Like that's what the season is.
Moving on.
speaking of missing chances, let's talk. Oh my god! Well, speaking of the Big Six team that's stuck in the mid-table,
Oh my goodness.
another United side, not another just Newcastle United, but another United team
Yeah.
that made the Champions League but sit at mid-table. The Red Devils themselves at Manchester United. What's going on over there, man?
Well, I tell you what, good news. We've got a new sporting director, sporting owner.
Yeah.
Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Other than that, mate, we're in the mud. I mean, I just don't know what to say, honestly, because look, you look everywhere at the football club, it's just mess.
Yeah.
Injuries, players coming in and out.
Yep.
Tyrell Malacia, I haven't seen you since like 2 years ago, mate. Where you been? You know? Luke Shaw's getting injured again. He's back to his old self.
The Butcher.
Your best player is Scott McTominay.
Oh my God, you know, mate, let me not get on Rashford right now. We can
Oi.
literally go.
Marcus Rashford.
We can go a whole other hour of me talking about Marcus Rashford. And I don't understand. How can you go from scoring 30 goals last season to being the sole purpose of us finishing the Champions League to now being the reason why we will never finish the Champions League this season? That to me is I don't.
Is
get
it time for him to go?
We just gave him a fat contract, mate. He
Oh,
ain't
yeah, that's
leaving.
right, huh?
He's getting paid
Oh, he's locked up.
300,000 a week. He's not going, mate. He's staying in Manchester.
This
you
is
know?
pretty high wages.
Yeah,
for,
dude.
Like he's not leaving, mate. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, what we've got to gut this club inside out.
You guys still have Anthony Martial
We've
on
got
this roster?
He's leaving, thank God.
Oh,
he
thank
needs
God.
to be.
Have you seen the Ballon d'Or
Anthony
clause?
Martial is
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Martial's going door clause, yeah.
Little funny, yeah. We had
It's
it.
like the
Well, he was
the
a
time
wonder
that it's at
He
the time
was.
when Nick Collison, the old Oklahoma City Thunder forward, he was like an OKC lifer,
Right.
Never near the MVP race, like nowhere close.
Yeah.
And he had an MVP clause in his contract. It was like
Shoot or shoot.
you win the MVP, you get like it was like $5 million in incentives. It was like
Yeah.
something outrageous.
Yeah.
It's like Anthony Martial Martial getting a Ballon d'Or clause on his contract.
And you know what? It did look like a possibility at a point. It did look like it was coming to fruition. I'll be honest. He won the Golden Boy Award in his first season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it just
That
dropped.
debut goal was something else too.
Oh mate, listen. You know, I rewatched that goal all day. I'm like, what happened?
Glory days.
The glory days.
Like, where did it go wrong?
Where did it all go wrong?
Where did it all go wrong? But Anthony Martial was gone. You know what? Sell the whole club. There you go. Sell Manchester United, mate. Just get rid of us right now, because.
How come Glazers doesn't sell the club?
Pardon?
Why did one of the Glazers sell the club? Why would they keep keeping it?
It's good money for them, mate.
Greed. It's the same reason why Artie Moreno won't sell the Angels.
Or why FSG
Or
won't
why
sell
Stan
Liverpool.
Kroenke won't sell Arsenal.
I know,
Same
I'm sorry,
reason,
but
mate. You know?
It's the same thing, man.
It's greed, mate. You make a lot of money. You know, you get your dividends come in.
I feel like at this point you're losing money as the United franchise.
You think so, isn't it? But honestly,
You
not.
reckon? So you guys.
Yeah, honestly, I'd hope so, because then actually, that would push them out the way. You know what I mean? Honestly, but no.
I never heard somebody pray on the downfall of their football.
Mate, you
of their
don't
own
understand.
team.
We need to, bro.
Yeah.
Stuff needs to change at this football club, guys. Like,
Yeah.
you know, this is crazy.
Yeah, if anybody knows it, is you too.
You
Well,
know
like,
what
the
I
fans
mean?
don't have the passion to like not show up to the Stratford end.
Nah,
Really?
probably not.
In baseball, you see it all the time. Mass protests. I think the Red Sox right now are talking about boycotting.
You're
the season
painting
completely.
yeah, those tickets, mate, are expensive. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
You know
but
what I
like,
mean, mate?
if you really care about your club, stop
I'm with
showing
you,
up.
mate, for sure. Liverpool did it that one time to free ticket prices. You
That's
know what
true.
I mean? So why can't we do it? What's going on, lads? Wake up!
Like,
I'm
have a
gonna be
reverse
screaming into the
boycott,
microphone
go
right
open
now.
days at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see, man. You man, never mind. Let's just. I'm about to swear right now. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Well, thank you guys for coming on. Please check out Footy Fridays on 22 West Radio. It's
thank
an
you, dude.
amazing show.
Great show.
We gotta get on Dunk Discussion though, their basketball show.
need
I
to,
got a
yeah.
lot to say.
Yeah.
Derek White for the All-Star game. I'm just saying, Derek White for the All-Star game. Get him in.
The narcissist for MVP, man. That's all I'm saying.
On that note, thank you guys so much for joining us on season 3, episode 2 of Teed Up. Thank you to our video editor and producer, Aiden Swanapool, and our multimedia producer, Al Nicklin. If you want to stay up to date on the latest in Long Beach State sports, please check out our website, daily49er.com, and follow us on socials at daily49er. We're going to start posting all of our beach sports recaps all on Instagram on Tuesday, so please keep an eye out for that if you want to stay up to date on all the scores and all the big highlights from throughout the weekend and throughout the week. Thank you guys for coming on, and we'll see y'all on the next one.
Up the Spurs.
Hey, whoa, what?